In this video, I'm gonna show you how you can draw this to this using one simple tool. So let's get started. As you can see that I drew the cat with an accurate proportion using this grid method by making sure these lines are light so that you have no trouble erasing them later on. The very next thing that I'm gonna do is using the kneaded eraser. So I'm gonna erase the basic underlying shapes and guidelines to make the sketch light so then it won't show up while shading. Now I'm using the indenting stylus for creating the fur by adding these directional lines. If you want to see this technique in depth, please check out the link of the video in detail in the card above. Now the next step is to sketch the cat's facial feature. So after the last step, I'm now using the mechanical pencil 0.5 mm to draw the facial features of the cat. So once it looks proportional, we will begin to start some shading from the eyes, just by adding some really thick dark lines to the upper eyelid and around the area. So for the eyes, I'm using the graphite pencil along with the color pencil. So here I'm using the basic blue with the black by Faber-Castell to shade the lens of the cat eye. So once I'm done with the basic shading of the eye, now I'm adding the highlights using the Posca pen, which is great for the bright narrated highlights along with the black pencil. Because what I'm doing here is that I'm just balancing the darks and the lights at the same time. So this will bring more realism into your drawing. And then yes, blending them all with the blending stump to get everything subtle and natural. Next, I'm now replicating the same steps to the second eye. Now move on to the cat fur. There are irregular patterns that I'm going to draw with the 6B pencil, which is a darker one. So it's really important to consider the directions where the fur is flowing in. And here all of the fur is flowing outwards from the eyes towards the head. Next, I'm going to use the brush to apply the base layer of the graphite on the cat's ear. Then with the help of mechanical pencil and eraser, I'm going to add some fine strokes of fur over the top of the base layer. Then I'll move back and tweak up some of the highlights using the Kneaded Eraser over all the face where the excessive graphite is available. Then I'm gonna go to cover the nose area. So as I already structured the nose, so now for popping it up more visible, I'm using the black pencil along with the electric eraser to add the details around the nose area. And then I'll add the more details later on. So once it is half done, now it's time to fill in the rest of the area of the mouth with the fur. So what I'm doing here is that I'm just redefining some of more indenting lines before starting off with the shading. So then after that, I will go with the dark pencil to block in the dark patches of the fur first. And then with the help of a blending stump, I'm gonna go smudge the area that contours the face of the cat. After that, I'll go with the black color pencil and add some skin texture around the cat's mouth. Also with the same pencil, I'm gonna go glaze over the fur to enhance a bit them. Then I'll go further down and add the rest of the fur using the blending stump, which already had some graphite on it. Then I will blend out the base layer with the tissue paper to get a smudged and soft underlayer skin of the cat. So here I'm back again to the air part which I left unfinished. So I'm gonna first apply the base layer, as air have a bunch of messy random looking lines and massive amount of fur that grows visibly out of the inside corner of the air. So here I'm sorting out the air with a gentle curvy directional fur using the lighter strokes that's going to look realistic and very natural. Now I'm gonna add some shading to the nose area. So as I kept this nice and smooth as well. So to add that kind of skin texture, I'm gonna add some darker shading around the bottom of the nose for the nostrils. Along with that, I'm using the eraser to get the highlights done. Moving down to the furry body of the cat, for the base layer, I'm blocking the stripes kind of patchy patterns of the cat with the 4B or 6B pencil. Then I'm creating small strokes to draw the coat patterns on the rest of the cat's body using irregular strokes over the indented lines. Along with that, I'm using the Tombow eraser to pull up some of the graphite in a flicking motion. After that, I'm gonna go ahead with the black colored pencil to glaze over and add one more dark layer of the fur. So replicate these stripes overlaying with the darker pencils to stand out or pop. Now for the cat paws, I'm gonna go draw the tiny details of the paw using the reference image, and then I'll block the base layer with the mechanical pencil. Also with that, I'll add some defined details. Then with the Tombow Mono Zero eraser, I'm gonna go erase some graphite to get the darks and lights balance, and then this will stand out the paw more realistically. Then I'll go on the dark pencil to add the depth in the paw. So for the second paw, I'll replicate the same steps with the different directional shading or using the reference image. Once I'm done with the cat paws, I'm gonna go add the shadow underneath where the cat is sitting. So by adding this shadow, this will look really realistic and some kind of 3D. So in last, I'm just correcting some errors using the reference image, just tweaking up the details to get a subtle final end of the drawing. So yes, this is it for today's tutorial. I hope that you will get some value out of it. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, see ya, bye.